They say sitting is the new smoking. It's actually much worse than that. The new smoking is the entirety of your normal life. So let me show you how to fight back. As a surgeon, I've seen where this road ends. I'm Dr. John Go. I've lost 75 pounds myself, and today I'm giving you the escape plan. I'm gonna give you 7 prescriptions. Here's what you'll walk away with. The rules I use to stay under 12% body fat, even while working full-time as a surgeon, and a framework that makes health and growth automatic. But quick note, this video is for education only, not medical care. I use the word prescriptions as a teaching tool, not as a treatment recommendation. Always consult your clinician before making any changes. Let's talk about the friction principle. Most people think motivation fixes health problems. It doesn't. Your behavior runs on what I call friction. Friction is how hard something feels to do in real life. Not on a perfect day, but on tired days, on stressful days, on busy days. Modern life is built backwards. It makes numbing easy and health hard. The following 7 prescriptions aren't about willpower. They're about architecture. They're about restructuring your environment so that health becomes automatic. Prescription number 1, walk after meals. You can flatten your blood sugar spikes by 30% just by timing your movement. If you can, aim for at least 8 to 10,000 steps daily, but if that sounds like it's too much, just start here. Just 10 minutes after lunch, 10 minutes after dinner. This flattens your post-meal blood sugar spike by 20 to 30%. And a lower spike means less insulin release. This means less insulin resistance over time, which means fewer cravings at night, better sleep, and more energy tomorrow. Start today. When lunch ends, walk around the block. A game changer for me was setting up a treadmill desk. Over 2 to 3 hours, I can get 20,000 steps in while editing videos, writing scripts, or playing video games. If you can't get a treadmill desk, park further away. Take the stairs. Set a timer to walk the last 5 minutes of every hour at work. All these little things add up to provide consistent calorie burning with minimal hunger spikes or cravings. This makes hitting a calorie deficit easier. Walking ignites fat loss without ramping up hunger. But the next prescription is what actually changes your metabolism long term. Prescription number 2, strength is insurance. Muscle is the metabolic insurance policy that buys you independence at the age of 80. Strength train at least 2 to 3 days a week. At a minimum, do 2 full body sessions a week. Focus on movement patterns, not just muscle groups, so squats, hinges, pushes, pulls. Muscle is metabolic insurance. It buffers blood sugar, it protects your joints, and prevents falls at 70. Muscle buys you independence as you age. Sarcopenia is the scientific term for muscle loss, and it starts in your 30s. You lose 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade if you do nothing. At 65, that becomes loss of mobility. At 75, that becomes loss of independence. And at 85, that can become a loss of dignity. Strength training is a boat for that person you'll be in 30 to 50 years. Compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench press, rows engage multiple muscle groups, making them the most efficient exercises for building muscle. They should form the core of your workouts. Strength builds foundation, but you also need to maintain that range of motion that keeps you moving freely. And that brings us to prescription number 3. Mobility every day. Stiffness isn't just getting old. It's an early warning sign of a loss of capacity. 5 minutes daily, focus on your hips, your ankles, your shoulders, your spine. We all have various weak areas, so try to target those. If you can't touch your toes at 40, you're losing capacity. At 60, that means a fall risk. At 70, that becomes an inability to pick something off the floor. A single fall can cause a hip fracture, which means an admission to the hospital, and that can mean potentially an infection, which can be the beginning of the end. And I've seen this time and time again. Movement should feel easy, and easy movement stays frequent, so keep and stay in motion. These first 3 prescriptions build your physical foundation. Now, let's protect that foundation by adding friction to the things that break it down. That brings us to prescription number 4, put fences around sedation. If you want to change your life, don't rely on willpower. Rely on boundaries. I'm not saying never, I'm saying not daily. First, food. Pick a few default meals for weekdays. High protein, high fiber, low decision fatigue. Meal prep if you can. Healthify your favorite dishes. Check out my free Asian cookbook in the description if you don't know where to start. Avoid ultra-processed foods built to override your satiety. If it comes in a crinkly bag and has 15 ingredients you can't pronounce, it's designed to make you overeat. Now, screens. Your goal is not 0 screen time. That's impossible. Your goal is to optimize sleep and impulse control. 3 rules here. Limit phone use in bed because it delays melatonin and worsens sleep. Turn off notifications at night. And lastly, don't disappear into the scroll at the expense of doing the things you know you gotta get done. Next, a big one, alcohol. Everyone's relationship to alcohol is different. I rarely drink nowadays. Quitting altogether is always the best option, but only you can decide what's best for you. Just make sure to be deliberate and conscientious about your choices around alcohol. And if you do drink, set rules for yourself. Prioritize your sleep. For example, max 2 drinks not within 4 hours of sleep. Also, you can try to add 1 alcohol-free week per month. Remember, daily repetition builds identity. If you numb yourself 5 days a week, you're training yourself that life requires numbing and you're never gonna get around to doing the things that are actually gonna truly change your life. And lastly, let's talk about meds. Medications should support environmental change, not replace it. Now here's what most people miss. Removing the bad isn't enough. You have to replace it with something better. Prescription number 5, swap numbing for building. Everyone has coping mechanisms. The only question is, does yours leave you stronger or weaker? Here are some examples of numbing and negative coping mechanisms. Scrolling, binging, drinking, drugs, avoiding, snacking when you're not hungry. Now compare that to examples of building positive coping mechanisms. Walking, lifting, learning, cooking, creating, connecting, learning, practicing a new skill. Do cool things that make you feel passionate and gets you up in the morning. Keep in mind, these positive endeavors are often hard. Dr. Kelso once said on the show Scrubs,
"Nothing in this world that's worth having comes easy."
If your choice of coping leaves you weaker, avoidance runs the show and nothing will ever change in your life. If your choice of coping leaves you stronger, growth runs the show. Building coping mechanisms is powerful, but there's usually something specific you're avoiding, and let's address that directly. Prescription number 6, face one avoided thing per week. Avoidance feels like relief, but the stress never leaves. It just stacks up as debt. And most stress has a name: an unfinished conversation, a delayed decision, a job you just tolerate, a relationship you avoid, a health issue you've been ignoring. So here's the rule. Just pick one thing you're avoiding each week, just one. Plan the first step, complete the first step. So for example, let's say you're thinking, I need to talk to my boss about workload. First step, write down the talking points, that's it. You don't need to have the conversation just yet. Just jot down the points. And next week, you can schedule that meeting. You don't need to fix everything in one move. We just need to stop letting it stack up until it becomes unmanageable. Baby steps are better than no steps. Every avoided problem is a weight you're carrying. Every delayed decision is draining your energy in the background, and that drain makes you reach for the same numbing behaviors we talked about earlier. Face one thing, get it off your plate, feel the relief. You're now building your body, protecting your boundaries, and facing what you've been avoiding. There's one more foundation that makes all of this easier. Prescription number 7, sleep drives everything. Poor sleep is the fastest way to destroy your impulse control and spike your cravings. It also impairs recovery, worsens mood, and increases insulin resistance. Good sleep, on the other hand, makes every other prescription we talked about easier. So here's a protocol. Set a wake time and keep it consistent, even on the weekends. Your body runs on a circadian rhythm. Try to get morning sunlight within 30 minutes of waking, so spend 10 minutes outside in the morning, and this helps set your circadian clock. Dim the lights after sunset. Use blue light blockers if needed. If your phone has it, filter out blue light after sundown. Keep your bedroom cool and dark, so I keep mine between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Limit or eliminate screen time in bed. Protect your sleep like you protect your training. Everything else builds on this. I've noticed that when my sleep is dialed in, my discipline with food is easier, my workouts are better, my mood is more stable, and my cravings drop. But when my sleep is off, everything falls apart. Now you have all 7 prescriptions. But here's what nobody wants to say out loud. Life is hard either way. Lifting weights is hard. Being unable to walk at 65 is hard. Choose your hard. Eating healthy can be hard. Getting winded from taking out the trash is hard. Choose your hard. Confronting life decisions is hard. But stagnating without any progress in life is also hard. Choose your hard. One path builds you, one path diminishes you. It's gonna be hard either way, sooner or later. Why not build something great? Your habits decide who shows up at 65. Either you're hiking with the grandkids barely on any medications, or you're sitting most days taking a dozen meds and canceling trips. These 7 prescriptions, repeated daily for decades, gives you your best shot at being that 65-year-old hiking with your grandkids. It's not your genetics, it's not luck, it's your daily inputs. Both paths are hard. Pick the hard that builds. So this is a declaration that you will not drift slowly into decline from modern day defaults. A declaration that you will not let food companies hijack your cravings. A declaration that you will not let tech platforms steal your attention to the point of apathy. A declaration that you will not let drugs or alcohol become your coping mechanism. A declaration that you will not let medications replace the lifestyle changes that actually reverse disease. I'm not anti-technology, I'm not anti-medicine, I'm not anti-modern life. I am pro living fully, moving freely, thinking clearly, sleeping deeply, and showing up at 80 as someone you're proud to be. The system is built to numb you, to fatten you, and to profit from your decline. You don't need permission to fight back. You need a plan. And now, you have one. Pick one prescription, just one. Run it for 7 days, no overhaul, no perfection, just one prescription for a week. Here's your test. 90% of people will watch this, nod their heads, then slide right back into the drift. They will change nothing. Prove that you're in the 10%. Go to the comments right now, post the number of the prescription you're starting with, 1 through 7, and type 10% next to it. I read every comment. I want to know who is actually taking their life back today. And if this hits you, send this video to one person who needs it. Someone who feels tired, struggling, or just feels like they're getting old. Choose your hard. If you want the complete system for how I lose those 75 pounds again while working crazy hours, watch this video next. I'll see you there.